Okay, so we accomplish movement, we accomplish familiarization, buoyancy. Now it is about movement. In movement we got the legs going, now it's about using the arms. So again it's good. What we do is we call it the mantra. So we get swimmers to walk, chin on the surface, quite easy, always have the chin on the surface, and be able to pull and simulate that same pull movement, one arm at a time. The coach can simply guide them. So it's not, you can do it in one place, but where there's always movement. So Gavin will turn back and now walk back to the wall. When there's movement, you get a greater feel of what this is about, versus if you are in one place, you can lose your balance because there's a tendency of pulling your body forward. Chin should be always on the surface of the water. So now they build confidence, remember, in kicking and going a distance. Now what we want to do, get them to do is be able to push off slowly, start with the legs, and then introduce one arm, then the other. And then we get them to do about what we call a stroke cycle. If you do a left arm and a right, that's called a stroke cycle. 3 or 4 of them without breathing, because there is a if you introduce the breathing immediately, they're going to be thinking too many things. So multitasking is a bit difficult in swimming. We always say, look, focus on the one thing, whether it's beginner swimmers, advanced swimmers. So here we go. Kick first, and you can see there won't be much movement on the feel of the water, so the coach tends to pull them a little bit to give them that assistance. Or what we say is a drag sensation. When the coach stands, this is very important, and we've seen children improve very fast. When the coach stands in front of the swimmer and walks, there's a current that is created, and the swimmer fits into that current and gets dragged. So there is some extra assistance. So you can see this happening on this drill. Coach kind of walks, brisk walk, but keeping that right distance. And then he moves to the side. There's a little bit more current going, and there he ends up on the wall. So what we call this the body drag swimming. The coach creates a drag, very powerful. Then obviously when this is good, we're going to say, you know what, now it's time to breathe. So we have a system where we get them to hold the wall here and get the timing. It's very important. Now we use a word called timing, when to breathe. This is critical. So the face is going to be in the water and they're going to pull, and during the push phase they're going to learn to lift that head up, breathe to the side, and bring that arm forward. Now we got to introduce the breathing. This is critical. I think in a lot of situations in teaching children to, or even adults to swim, the breathing becomes a big problem. Everything is an obstacle, but this is the big one, especially for adults. So we teach them the technique of breathing. In freestyle, it's about breathing to the side. So you can see where the coach stands on the side, eye to eye, and gets them to blow bubbles, turn the head to the side for the first time. There you go, and you can see the blowing of bubbles. Now I'm just going to clearly show an example here of when you don't blow bubbles, what happens. And this is a problem. Even in the movement we'll have to show you that, but this is where they tend to hold their breath and then blow out, which is not a very healthy thing in swimming. Here we are showing what is wrong. Thank you, Gavin. So now we got the neck to move to the side. Now we're going to bring the arms in. You can show that. When they pull, arms go back. As it goes back, you breathe to the side, and the hand comes over, which they've already learnt. You can see how the coach is even helping with the movement of the head. It's just that now the big question is, what side should they breathe? Should they breathe to the left side or right side? This is a common question asked by a lot of people, and we say, look, a child will always feel comfortable breathing on a certain side. Let it be that side. So it's something we leave up it up to the child to figure out what side they want to breathe. Okay, so now we actually bring in the kickboard again. They're going to get into the movement, and now since they learned the technique of the pulling, the timing of the breathing, they're going to put it into practice. We call this a 6 kick, 1 pull. So you could see quite simply, this time instead of holding the board on the edge, we have them to place their hand in the middle of the board, which we feel is a very comfortable position. Just only the breathing. Again, the coach can assist them to turn their head, done very gently. And once they accomplish this, they can now start using the arms. Obviously, you've got to do a lot of repeats of this, but once they use the arms, now they're going to use the single arm freestyle, but introduce the breathing. Coach always walks along with the swimmer, instructing or at least giving them the confidence that they are not alone. Beautiful. So now with the board out, we're going to have something interesting. They're going to swim without the board, which is called without any assistance, still only doing the one arm freestyle. So the non-pulling arm stays in front and they do a few strokes. Again, it's good for the coach to stand in front, create a bit of a drag if they want to, which helps the swimmer. There's a little bit of help with the breathing. The hands can sort of get intertangled, but they get it done. So when the swimmer now is able to make that pull on the breathe side, take a breath, now we're going to introduce the opposite arm. In my case, it will be the left arm, and they get to swim very slowly with those kicks. Breathe. You see this action in motion now. Again, it's good for the coach to stand in front, create a drag, and then slightly move to the side. And you see them. It's always done a short distance, lots of repeats of this, and you see a lot of fast progression.